It's a live program that comes with a lot of fantastic offering. And Lolade,
yes,
this is the moment where you and I are going to be engaging with one or two of our artists, our guests, to let us know exactly what the power of motivation is.
Yes, I mean, just like I said, when the show was starting, at this particular point in time, we need as much motivation as we can get. Take a look at, the stories that you guys chatted about in the headlines in the course of the week. I am particularly mortified at the fact that 661 pump action rifles actually came in through whichever way. I don't want to know the air, the sea, anything.
Negative motivation,
but
I can tell you.
The fact that they got there right on the streets. I mean, take for instance, what could have happened if these things had gotten into private hands? So we need all the motivation we can get, and in line with prepping ourselves and having something forward to look up to this morning. We have our guest with us in the studios. Do you want to do the honors, Stephen?
Well, as a matter of fact, Samuel Zion is his name. He's a young man who has done excellently well in promoting some of the campaigns that has to do with the power of motivation. He runs his own foundation, also hosts a TV program, so to speak, and he's done so much more in terms of a lot of leadership, and he has gained or has been given several awards. And when you see a young man who has been honored in that way, you know that the future is bright for this country. Today we're going to be exploring the topic, turning obstacles into opportunities, motivational tips for resilience and success. You're welcome, Mr. Samuel Zion. That's a pretty name.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Reminds me of the reggae artist. Do you love reggae?
Quite. It just depends on the type of reggae, not so much of reggae.
Oh, not the ones that you do a lot of the ones that you do a lot of. Right? You're welcome, Zion.
All right, Samuel. For the purpose of, our viewers, because you see, we hear so much about people saying they're motivational speakers, they're this, they're that, and at the end of the day, you seem to find out that it's what they can get, what they can put into their pockets that, is actually the bottom line for them. What qualifies one as a motivational speaker?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me on set today. You see, being a motivational speaker goes beyond the word motivational speaker. It goes beyond that. If you say, look at the word motivational, motivating, it's an action. You are doing something. And when you say you're being a motivational speaker, who are you influencing? Who are you motivating? Who is getting inspiration from what you are doing? So when I say I'm a motivational speaker, am I influencing people? Am I affecting people? What changes am I bringing to the lives of people? That qualifies me as a motivational speaker. And you don't do that because you're looking for a gain. That's not the purpose. You don't do that because you're looking for a gain. You do that because you want to influence a life. You want to influence somebody. You want to influence a generation. And that's what qualifies you as a motivational speaker, not for the gain of it. Thank you so much.
Okay, now you have, let us into it, so at least our hearts and our minds are open into, motivation, motivational speaking this time around. What qualifies one as a motivational speaker? Now let's take it and apply it to the Nigerian situation as we are here today. There's so much that people have lost hope. That's just what I want to. The way I want to, put it all together. Nigerians seem to have lost hope. Very, very few people seem to have something to look forward to. I know you're doing so much, but for the average Nigerian, is there really anything to look forward to?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I was asked this similar question a few days ago by some of my friends. You see, we got here in our country as a result of what had happened over the years. From the independence to the several military eras to democratic eras, we got here. And in as much as things are not where they should be, but there are still some gains we should appreciate in our nation. For example, one of them is education. Our educational standard may not be in competition with the world as it is today, but we've gotten better. In Africa, we've gotten better. There's something to look forward to in this nation. I believe in Nigeria. I so much believe in Nigeria. Despite the challenges, the economic challenges, the kidnapping, whatsoever, look at what the paper said today, how the pump action come here. No matter what happened, there is still hope for this nation because someone like me is there and because someone like you is there. So that's why I tell my people, because you are there is hope for Nigeria. There is hope. So it's not an avenue to start bad-mouthing Nigeria. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, they are. But every Nigerian watching this right now, there is hope for our country because you are there. No matter how I was reading something a few weeks ago of a gateman who picked up some dollars at the airport. And I was inspired. It touched me that this guy maybe is not privileged to work in a board meeting or something, but in his little position, he believed that this was wrong. Then if it takes just one person, I remember a quote that says, evil will continue when good men sit back and do nothing. So if we have good people like that, like myself, like other young people that believe in good things in this country, then there is hope for our nation.
There is indeed hope for our nation. Sorry, Stephen, because there's so much going through my head.
I imagine that, Laura, because earlier on when we were doing introduction, you were taken in by this whole concept of motivation. Exactly. Because a lot of people feel that motivation is all about talk shop. But he has brought out a very salient point, which says the fact that somebody who is a motivational speaker is out there to actually inspire. All right, and that inspiration can make the difference between life and death.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, of recent, if you read the pages of the newspapers, there have been rising cases of suicide. You know, and you realize that some people can actually avert that kind of occurrence. If somebody perhaps is in front of the television set, or somebody's reading something and is motivating them, you understand, not to take an action, because somebody who commits suicide is someone who has lost hope.
Giving it all up.
They've given it all up. I mean, you're not looking beyond, you know, what it has to.
Reminds me of something very particular that happened in 2014.
Okay.
In fact, that actually brought about the initiative we're doing. We call it Shine a Light Foundation. We offer free e-books to. I was sitting on the bus to students. I was sitting on the bus this particular day, and I had this conversation between two students, and they said, we don't have libraries anymore. Our parents used to tell us we had libraries, you know, and they said we don't have libraries anymore. How am I going to study? How am I going to read? And I thought to myself, yes, at my time, it was phasing out. And I thought to myself, what can I do? What can I do as an individual to solve the situation? And I called a few friends of mine and said, there's a need in our nation. There's a problem in our country. We've got to do something about it. And that's the library system. Now, there are no physical books. It doesn't mean our students are not going to read.
Definitely not.
So I said, the schools have their computers. We're going to put e-books there. And that's what we did.
And
so
that's what
far,
you've been doing.
we have over 16,000 schools and students we have given free e-libraries to.
Wow.
So that's a challenge. Now, it could be in the area of suicide. You could talk to someone, maybe by the part, just, you should chip in a word to the person. You can inspire, there's hope. I don't need to kill myself. I don't need to take this action because of what you said.
All right. There is hope. Never go away. We're going to be taking a break, and when we are back, we're going to continue the discussion about turning obstacles into opportunities.
I'm Boboye Oyemi, the Commercial Federal Road Safety Corps. Nice being on Morning Ride today, and to the audience, we request that you stay glued to Morning Ride on Saturday mornings from 10 to 11 and repeat broadcast to listen to the updates from Road Safety Point, from education, agri, sports, and all other EUs. From Road Safety Points, join us to drive to save a life, to stay alive. A life you save today may be yours tomorrow. And the last note, please do not use phone while driving. It's a distraction when you are driving. Thank you.
My name is Ronald King, author of the career book Guide to Tertiary Education in Nigeria. Keep watching Morning Ride on NTA 2 Lagos.
Hi, my name is Regina Odige, and I'm the team leader of Girls Education and Mentorship Network. Keep watching Morning Ride on NTA 2 Lagos.
All right, those were some of the endorsements we had in time past. It reminds me of what Boboye said. Don't drive and make calls. That is negative motivation.
Exactly. And let's take it from there, and from what Samuel said before we went on the break about giving hope to the seemingly hopeless. I know that the average Nigerian has this never say die spirit. I mean, we keep trudging along. If I, as a person, I wonder where we get that kind of spirit from. But we seem to have to be gradually getting to that stage in our lives, not just in terms of our polity, in every sphere of life in Nigeria, where people seem to be, losing hope on a daily basis. Now, how do we channel this never say die spirit? This belief that we have that's innate in us, how do we channel it into creating opportunities for us to grow as a people and as a nation?
Thank you very much. Like you said, the never die spirit of Nigerian, of an average Nigerian, is amazing. It's really amazing. You cannot box a Nigerian. You can't put him in a box. Somehow, it's going to create something. Now, the beautiful way, one way to channel that creativity, that attitude into creativity, is observing the needs in your environment. It could be in the village. If you're watching this in the village, it could be in your town.
You bet they're watching it in the village.
Yes, right now. If you're watching this in the village, that maybe they don't have water, for example, in your village. That's where it starts, with driving that I can do spirit into creativity. What can you do to make that place better? That's where it starts. That's where it starts. So you think, oh, in my environment, they don't have this, they don't have this. Instead of you joining those that complain and weaken your creative spirit, you think, oh, I should do something about it.
So a way to actually get from the point of obstacles to opportunities is never complain.
Never complain.
It's more like let your creative juice, just
Bring
come
it
out.
out. Yeah. First of all, like I said, observing what the issue is.
Okay.
Observing what it is. Then it will naturally to start bringing thoughts on what to do to solve those challenges.
I remember there was a video on the internet that shows of a young Nigerian who actually who created a small mini aeroplane.
Yeah,
It did that with all that, and then the plane actually flew, up down.
Yeah.
That kind of individual is somebody you would say that is actually turning obstacles into opportunities, right?
And also, I think I also watched a video like that of I think is his final year project in Nnamdi Azikiwe University.
Okay.
He did the phantom plane, that's the rotor that flies up, and he said he did it from materials available to him
Around his environment.
It
That's
was
motivation.
amazing. I was like, wow. He didn't have to travel somewhere to get the materials. He got them from the materials available to him. And that's so he didn't consider the challenges of his limitation of the environment. He did something with it. And that's
I agree in totality with you there. But I still have a challenge here.
Yeah.
The challenge is this. Yes, we have people who do not necessarily need to be pushed. They have this zeal to be able to look inwards and see what they have there and make the best of it.
Yeah.
But what about that person who wakes up, not even knowing what he's going to have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? And yet, we say, trudge on, move on. Look around you and find out what you can do to make yourself better, to overcome these obstacles. How is such a person going to move on?
Well, I've been in that situation before. Now, this is what such a person, I would advise such a person to do from my own personal experience. Firstly, it doesn't matter the faith you are, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian, whatever it is, believe in something. Have a little spark of hope. It's inside you. Just believe that you could become something, no matter how. I've been so down.
On an empty stomach?
On an empty stomach, yes.
You'll be amazed that can actually put food on your table.
That is it. Okay, let me give a very brief example.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. Somewhere in Lagos, in Ikeja, somewhere there, there was this lady. She had 2 children begging, didn't have anything to do, and there was no hope for the next meal. I did something. I said, okay, fine. I have 500 naira with me at that time. I said, okay, take this 500 naira. This is what you do. A bag of pure water, sachet water in this part of the world, it's about 150 naira. I said, okay, you can buy something maybe from the 500 naira for your family, then get that bag of water and sell. Start from there. Don't begin to look for something big. Start from something
And you'll be
small.
amazed on how that can actually change so much.
She's
right?
a big-time seller now.
You can imagine 500 naira can make a difference with that spark of hope.
It sure
Never
can
giving
make
up,
a
Lolade.
difference.
So don't give up, Lolade, all right?
Okay, well, we're not giving up, and we've totally come to the end of this discussion this morning. But before you go, Simon, I just can let you go without telling us very briefly a few of the other things you do. Yes, we know that you supply ebooks to students, and there's so much that you're doing to motivate the average Nigerian. Quickly.
Okay, all right. One of the beautiful things I do is having online shows on social media. Just a few minutes talk shows I do, and there's one coming up very shortly that so far we have done since 2014. We have done over 5 episodes every 6 months, and there's one coming up shortly that we had to get a lecturer in Australia, University in Australia, to participate with us.
Okay.
Now we're doing so much online. That's where young people are. And that's why we're motivating them. We're meeting them where they are. You have a phone, you can come online.
Exactly.
And so we're having motivational programs. In as much as I do the ebook stuff, I also go to schools and share books with them. Both the e-copy books and the hard copy books with them. So I do that with them online.
Thank you very much. I think we're going to have to have you around again.
Exactly.
A lot of this stuff may not just be exhausted in a very few minutes, but it's still plenty to do, you know. But I think I want to be a recipient of one of those ebooks. I'll go back to school. So what do we have next?
Yes, it's time for us to go into the world of sports now as we